The things which we're going to be going over today may stop you from getting deactivated on Amazon. In this video today, we're going to be analyzing a product because analyzing products is just as important, if not more important, than sourcing them from reputable suppliers. We're going to go over this and we've got a profitable example to show you. We're also going to be looking at things you need to be avoiding when sourcing your products. Let's get to the video. So to start this, we are going to be going to Hamleys and we found this really good example. As you can see, it's a Tony's Paw Patrol Zoomer audio character. We've got it at $14.99, but we've got this use code 10, new 10. So we're only needing to buy 3 of these to selected toys above £40. We have got this $14.99 here. And what we're going to do is apply a coupon code. We know it's going to be 10% off. So what we're going to do is shift an 8 to bring the star. We're going to times that by 0.9, which is at 10%. So here we go. We've got $13.49 cost price for this toner. And it looks quite profitable. 17 sales a month, selling it at £25, £2.70 profit. So how I would analyze this, I would actually go to the Amazon listing because we know that Hamleys is a reputable supplier. We don't need to look at this. We can request invoices from Hamleys. I know that for a fact. So this is where we're going to start analyzing our product. And to start off with, we need to be doing some vital checks. Looking at this here. So visit the Tony's store. Sometimes what you do is you'll actually come to a listing and that listing may have a different brand name. I have got an example, so I'm going to show you that now. We have this Brillo pad. So you would be expecting the brand would be Brillo. But as you can see here, we have Toppist. And what this is somebody's created this listing and put it under their own brand. But it is against Amazon's T's and C's. And this will possibly be getting taken down. So if you see the wrong brand, I would always recommend avoiding it. If this brand was generic, if that's there, you are not safe on them listings. So that's the first 2 red flags you need to be looking for. It's usually below the title or above it, and it will just be the brand's actual store. So make sure you do that check. What we will be looking at then is we're going to look at the pictures. So you can see here the picture looks the same. It's the same product. You're going to check the title. Yep, that looks correct. While we're up on the title, you could look at the overall rating. So we can see here that it's 4.7. I wouldn't recommend going too low because if you've got a poor product, that might mean you're going to get negative reviews. I'll just stick with SellerAmp today because I know if you're looking at this video, you might not have Keepa just yet. So we're just going to make SellerAmp a little bit bigger, and all we've done is just slid that across like this. You can see this data a little bit easier. We did get that $13.49 cost price, as you can see here, that £2.17 profit, 10% margin ROI. And what I would be considering is I would be looking at the offer count. So we're going to offers here. I'm going to show you that. And what we're doing now is we're actually looking to see if the brand is on there. This is just another safety check because if the brand is on the listing, what you notice is sometimes, and I've got an example of it, they could be on the listing, but then what they'll do is kick everybody off and issue what's known as an IP. So they will be issuing an intellectual property complaint to sellers on their listings because they haven't brought directly from themselves or got a letter of authorization. I would always check here. And the example I was going to show you is Bondi Sands. And I'll show you that this actually does happen. So I'll zoom in here. I know this is on Keepa, but this is just an example. We've got Bondi Sands selling with all the other sellers here. And they have been on the listing since January 2023. So you can see there, Bondi Sands Europe. We've got the offer count, meaning that lots of sellers have come on, they've sold out, it's been all right. And then what happens is you get one of these, and this is where they would drop the IP complaint. So from 12 sellers, 13 sellers to 1. And they've kicked everybody off, saying that the products which they're selling are fake, which doesn't do you any good if you are selling products on Amazon. Amazon doesn't like you selling fake products. It is against the terms and conditions of selling on Amazon. So this is why I always recommend saving invoices, receipts for proof of purchase, and doing these checks when you are analysing your products, because you don't want to be stuck with inventory you can't sell. Because we haven't got the brand on the offers here, what our next step would be doing is checking if there's been any IP drops. So like I just showed you with the Bondi Sands, there was a 12-to-1 seller drop. So that's the next step which we've got to be doing. So you can have a look at the charts here. We have got open the charts in this new window, and you want to be looking at the 3 months or the 90 days. You see that that's been fairly stable. There is a low offer count on this product, so you've got to be a little bit cautious, but it's not showing any big drop-offs. You want to always check the year, see what's happened. You can see naturally we've had sellers coming in and out of stock. So when it comes in of stock, that's when your offer counts come up. And when you go in out of stock, that means there's less people selling it. And we're looking at the all-time. And this looks to me fairly stable. There's nothing too sinister. We will review this on Keepa just to double check afterwards. There's not been any major drop-offs off this. It looks fairly good so far. We're looking at the 3 months chart now, and you can see that this product has had a fairly stable sale price. Why I say sale price and not buy box price is because we haven't got a buy box at the moment. This is actually a suppressed listing. So when you come to the listing on Amazon, what you would see is the price is higher than typical, and then for your customer, they would have to go and see buying options and then select yourself. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to get new sales on these products, but it just means that you might get slower sales because Amazon's not deeming this as a good option for the customer. If we look back at the year chart, now you can see we've got a pink line, and this is giving us the information that we have actually got a buy box. And you can see that that price is $14.89. We had a lower sale price here at £12.16, and this is being reflected by the second chart. So this second chart is our monthly sold chart. This is the best data point which we've got on sales velocity. With here, we've got 50 sales. This is looking at the timeline. We're in November now, so you can see it sold 200 times, 300 times. In January, it was still at this lower price. So you can see that the sale price was around 50 sales a month. But now we don't have the pink line, which is the buy box, and we're at a higher price. That means that sales have slowed down. And why I say sales have slowed down, you could see what this green line is telling us. This green line is the bestseller rank line. And when you see it climbing like this, that usually means it's not picking up as many sales as it was before. So as you can see, we are getting a couple of dips here and there, but not as many as when we was down in the lower 15,000 BSR. We're currently up at the 90,000, so sales have dramatically slowed down, but you are still getting dips. And every time you see a dip like this, or we call them drops, when you see a drop like this, so from 109,000 down to 63,000, that usually indicates that this product has had at least one sale. If you are interested in how to look deeper into your analysis of your products, I am currently running a Keepa course. It's a 6 weeks live course, and it starts on the 6th of August. If you are interested in that, there is a link in my bio, so go check that out. When we are analysing slower moving products, these drops are going to be very, very beneficial when you're looking at them, but you've got to understand them. And as a beginner watching this video, because you're at an early stage in your journey, I would recommend avoiding the higher BSR products, but there is plenty of opportunity in there, especially if you've got this line here. This is the most accurate data. Sometimes what you would see is the BSR would actually be high and this product would still sell 300 times a month. That could be an opportunity, but you'll have to look into that product further. So the next step which I'll be doing is you can check this alert box. Usually if it was a variation, that would just mean you've got to do further analysis. If it's going to give you IP issues, because sometimes it will give you an IP, it just means have a look at the data. Even if it says IP on there, I would always look into the data. And at this point, I would also be looking to see if I could sell this branded product, because it looks fairly good. Sales are there, stable buy box, low saturation, and if you linked your seller central, you'll be able to look to see if you're gated. If this did say that you wasn't eligible, what I would still do is take that ASIN, go to your inventory, and then I'll add the product to your inventory to make sure that you could sell that product. The next step, what I'll be looking at is the sale prices. So currently we haven't got a buy box, but we're going to just go off the lowest FBA. So we're going to look at this 25.50, that's the 90-day average. The 25.80 is the current 30-day. You could check the 180 if you wanted to. This is a really important check if you was analysing products around Christmas time, because usually when there's a lot of demand on a certain product, usually the prices get inflated. So this happens at Christmas time, especially with toys. Always use these averages closer to them times. And you've got a rough estimate of what you can sell that product for, because you don't want to be assuming that you could be selling this product for £25, but realistically you're selling that product for £14.53 because it makes a loss. If you are looking at these, I would always go worst case scenario. The 180 is a little bit long really, but I would be looking at the current, the 30-day and the 90-day. I would be doing worst case scenario. So I've got 25.50 here, I've got 25.82, I've got 25.80. I would be looking at that 90-day and putting that in. Is it worth it? Maybe not. But this is the decisions you've got to be looking at. It's always better to play it safe than be sorry and make a loss. Moving on, what I would be looking at is the buy box analysis. And this one is really important for us in this case as well. Because when we've looked at the chart, we haven't had an indication of the brand yet. And as you can see, the last 90 days, the buy box analysis has been suppressed 100% of the time, which is fine. Looking at the 30 days, this one is still suppressed, and the 180 days. And here you can see we actually have Tony's UK on the buy box. They was the people at the sale price of $14.58. So this is the brand. This is where we're then going to be saying this product is not a good product to buy, because like I showed you with Bondi Sands before, it's okay, you could sell alongside them, but how long is that for? With Tony's, they could kick you off, they could issue an IP complaint. For me, this product would be avoid. You can look at the all-time chart, but because the all-time is the lifetime of the listing, I usually tend to stay away from the all-time, because something might have happened closer to the 180 days, the 90 days, the 30 days. You come to a listing and the buy box is not being shared, usually I stay away from that, because I want to have physical evidence in the data before I make a purchase of that product to sell. This is our business, we don't want to gamble. And if you don't have proof that the buy box can be shared, to me, that is gambling. So you've got to be very careful when analyzing these products, because one mistake can cost you your Amazon account. So you've got to be very careful. One of my last checks, which I do personally, I look to see, can I buy this product in Europe for a cheaper price than what I'm going to pay for it? And can I get it on the Arbor Source reverse search? So as you can see here, the beaniegames.co.uk, we could be buying it for a little bit cheaper, but we have got that 10% discount on Hamleys. If you did have Keepa, what I would do, instead of looking at the buy box analysis and checking who's been on the buy box previously, so we now see Tony's, what I would do is go over the buy box, put this to the year or the all time, and I would manually go down, have a look, see if the brand's there, and you can see Tony's UK. You can see Tony's UK. There hasn't been an IP drop off, but the brand is on the listing. To me, that is playing with fire. But this is your business. You've got to run it how you want to run it. I hope you like that analysis of that product. There's a lot of useful information in there which could save you making really bad financial decisions. But all products do have different sorts of requirements to look at. So for example, if you're looking for chocolate products at Easter, you have to be aware that some products are in the meltable category. So you won't be able to send them in during the summer months. The same is with lipsticks or makeup. Some of them are in the meltable category, so you've got to be very careful during the summer months. Another great example of what you've got to be also thinking about is the product a dangerous goods? And if you want to look at that, you could go to the top bar on Seller Central, type in dangerous goods, and then you'll be able to look up the ASIN and see if it's in the dangerous goods. When I'm looking at dangerous goods, I always think, is it flammable? Does it contain batteries? Does it spray? These sort of questions we've got to ask ourselves when we are analysing products, because every single product is totally different. You could have heavy products. You could have small and light products. We have covered some of the most dangerous mistakes you could potentially make. So if you've liked this video, make sure you go check out our other videos, but give us a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!